Underway. Let's have a chat to Joanne Blesing. Joanne is Dignity for Disabilities candidate for the seat of Unley. Joanne, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Peter.
What made you decide to have a go at this?
Well, Peter, I've had multiple sclerosis now for 10 years, since 2004. And before that, I was an architectural designer in Melbourne. And I moved back to Adelaide when I got sick and became quite my own strength and action in order to get things done. And then I realised that one person doesn't have a voice, where if you actually join together, everything I've learned and gained, I can actually do for others with using all my professional background beforehand. So I really want to make a difference for the majority, not just the minority.
That's a great thing to say. Was actually putting your hand up to be involved with politics a difficult thing? Because you can advocate, I guess, in other ways other than running for a seat in state parliament.
Well, it's the parliament that makes a difference in the end. And because I've come from both backgrounds, able-bodied and disabled, I can be there and understand both point of views. But the parliament makes a decision about the funding, and funding is what makes everything work or not work.
What about some of the people that have inspired you over the time? Dare I call them role models? Any in particular that we might know of?
Well, the local candidate or local member of parliament here, Kelly Vincent, is my role model in Adelaide for what she's done from where she came. And Stacey Cope is another motivational speaker who's paralysed here in Adelaide. There's also someone in Brisbane, I don't know if you've heard of, Helen Edwards, who came up with an inspiration of 20 million wheelchairs for 20 million people internationally. And she's been working with Richard Branson, who has the belief of absolutely anything you dream of, you can do. And that's what I believe in. Absolutely anything you want is possible.
Terrific. Now, what about some of the issues in particular that are sort of, sheeting home to you at the moment? I guess you're out there talking to people with disabilities as well as your experience of living with disability yourself. What are sort of top of mind or top of list as far as things that need attention?
Well, the biggest thing for me is the support system or disability support system. The current funding that's available to people is inefficient and underfunded, as we know, and unfair. And I don't even have enough funding for showers or meals. So I've been fighting this for a long time, and I know that the solutions are there. So my big thing is to find a way for the government to listen to see what is available to make the solutions. And without the actual knowledge being gained by the higher parties, we can't get this through. There's a lot of people in trouble out there, a lot of people underfunded, a lot of people struggling, and there is a way through it. So my way has been about promoting disability, making it obvious. For example, on my Facebook page at the moment for disability, I've even shown myself attempting to walk for the first time in 3 years in water. I haven't walked for 10 years. And showing the public what it takes and the determination for someone who is disabled to actually get back on with their life.
It's a very powerful message. And the things you talked about there, things like showers, I mean, they're basic human rights, aren't they? That's not really asking for, gold-plated wheelchairs or, things that are outrageous. They're things that, should be just a given, if you like.
Given. One of the things that was said a while ago is if every member of parliament went without a shower for 2 days a week, would they change the way the system works? There is enough funding, but has it been utilised correctly?
Would you blame politicians for that, though? I mean, if there is enough funding, so that the money's available in budgets, etc., could it be used better? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and it's at the top level where the decision's made.
So what about some of the other issues? I mean, they're very powerful and very clearly put. Other things that are perhaps that you picked up from people that you speak to? Well,
access is a big thing which I know and everyone knows, and I've been speaking to people on the streets about that, especially around Unley and the other areas, where access is one thing where what I've found the most interesting is just because a place is accessible doesn't mean they have the best service. I actually go to a very, very good coffee shop in Unley that has fantastic coffee, but it's not accessible. And I wonder how many people out there go to places that are not accessible for them to have difficulties with it in some way, but the service is fantastic because in the end, it's customer service that wins everything.
And of course, if people are running businesses and they're providing good service, that's going to help their bottom line, which would be, one of the motivating factors for them being in business.
Yeah.
You said you were an architect, or you
Before I got sick, I was it's called Interior Architectural Design and Project Management. It's a title, I suppose it's, I don't do roofs and car parks is what I say, I do everything in between. And I've been working a lot with environmental design, environmental studies for many years. Had my own business for 9 years before I got sick. And I do disability consulting, but all on a voluntary basis. For anyone that has difficulty, I normally help them solve problems, especially businesses.
So from that point of view, I guess like, websites or like a lot of things, if things are, if accessibility is taken into account from the beginning, it's easier to make something accessible rather than trying to add on or modify?
Retrofit is the hardest way to do anything. But as I said before, when I was able-bodied, I didn't even know the limitations that were out there. I didn't know what were problems or difficulties. And it's only fair that we don't judge people that don't know about these things until they've experienced or have family members experience it. And I know it's difficult to say, wait till you have something happen to you, but that we need education at the lowest level we can, so that the highest people that make the decisions, even on as much as a website, know to not retrofit it because it conforms with regulation. But regulation's a minimum.
We're great fans of Kelly Vincent, no secret about that, and Kelly's done a great job. Do you think, obviously it'd be fantastic if some D4D candidates did get into Parliament, but do you think if they can, or if enough votes are casted in D4D's box, if you like, that's going to send a message to politicians anyway that, disability is something that the community as a whole are taking very seriously?
Oh, I'm sure you've heard about the aim to get another lead candidate into Parliament with Kelly Esther Simby. Yeah. However, as you said, the more votes are cast, the more even the local electorates will actually see that disability is something that can be modified. We can make a difference one by one, and these people can actually help just simply one voice at a time. If people vote for disability at this lower issue, it's not about being normal, it's about living life as fully as we can, and knowing that anyone can make a difference by just simply supporting, and then you vote for your main party second.
I don't think there's any doubt that people are pretty much fed up with the two major parties in all sorts of areas, and one can understand why that's the case. So in terms of, making an impact, this is probably as good an election as any for the so-called minor parties to really get a sizable percentage of votes.
Yes, if we can get a large portion of votes this time around, because there are quite a few people in different electorates standing this time, and all of us with very vast experience and disability, and we can make such a voice heard. We get a big impact that happened 4 years ago with Kelly Vincent getting in. The impact will spread nationally.
Terrific. Well, Joanne, we wish you well. Good on you for having the courage to stand and to run for Parliament, to have the courage of your convictions. That's a wonderful thing. We wish you well, and who knows? It could be Joanne Blesing, member of the House of Assembly.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Okay. Good luck, and again, well done.
Okay, bye.